And how are you promoting new business in Chino Hills, which is kind of an interesting takeoff from the last one?
Well, we've been pretty proactive. We are basically a veteran community, and I know several years ago the City Council wanted to expand our business presence so that the residents would drive less of a distance and that it would be more shopping opportunities in town. So the shops was built and Commons was built. But we've done a real outreach. We hired a consultant in the past 6 months, CBRE, to do they can talk more than anybody else. So they've been with our city manager and with a couple of our council members when we do an outreach to different businesses. But we're very proactive when it comes to bringing in businesses. Do they want to be here? Depends on what's available to them, what properties are available, because they want a freeway presence. Even the Shops 2 project, which is the empty land near City Hall, we're having a little bit of resistance for someone such as a big name because they say it's not visible enough from the freeway. But we try to encourage it. We have our team in place is really strong when it comes to being proactive with information about retaining business.
Glad that this question come up so I can address again what I was starting to say earlier. When this house was being built, Jesse Penny wanted to set up shop in the shopping mall. The city council, most of you guys are still there, turned down JCPenney because they're not upscale enough. So JCPenney ended up putting up another shop right across the other side of the highway. I think that's one thing that we really need to address in terms that we view things. Yeah, we are upscale community, but to lose a good sales tax revenue by refusing to get JCPenney to put up shops, to put up their shop at the shopping mall, I think it's an indicative of the kind of way that we, as the city council, is doing to antagonize this kind of businesses who wants to put up shops in our community.
Sorry, Lou, I don't see it like you, but we have hired CBRE. They're pro-business, and they're actually reaching out to major tax producers to relocate here in the Chino Valley or Chino Hills. We're proactive. We will bend over backwards to support businesses in our community. We've actually surveyed the majority of our businesses to make sure that they're happy. The sad thing is we only got 4 returns from businesses in the community. We need to amp it up a little bit. That's why we hired a consultant. In the future, there are going to be some major stores coming to the community, and hopefully we'll all be happy with that. Thank you.
As I've been out in the community, unfortunately, I'm not getting that positive feedback. On the contrary, I believe that the local businesses are not happy. I think we need to have a better partnership with the local businesses. We need to provide them incentives. I hear it's too expensive. It's too expensive to do business out here. I hear that it's just difficult all the way around working with the city. Let's help them out. How can we market their business? And I don't know, let's be creative. Can we start advertising some of their businesses on the city of Chino Hills official website? I don't know, but what I'm hearing is they're out there on their own.
I also am hearing, while we have some businesses that are very happy in the city, a lot of our businesses do feel that it's a bit of a struggle. We aren't the easiest city to work with. The permitting process is very difficult. They don't feel that they're getting the support. What we can do to assist them in that is something I think we need to get very creative about and look very hard at. While we are a very upscale community, we won't remain an upscale community if we don't have a business base to help support us. Businesses, whether you want them in your backyard or not, they are absolutely critical to our health, and we need to start working with them and being very proactive and looking very long range, not short-term benefit, but very long range.
Okay, for Lou Alfonso, this is the final question for the evening. It's kind of nice that it works out, if it comes out to the number 5 in the state. is a general information kind of question. What do you consider to be the most important issue in Chino Hills, and how would you address that issue?
I think with all the issues that's happening in our community, one thing that I can really see that needs to be changed is the dynamics of the city council. No one has gotten into the city council without being endorsed, supported by, backed by, or appointed by what I call the old guards. We really need to put somebody in there that is not endorsed, supported by, backed by, or appointed by the incumbents. Because whoever you put in there, in all of the elections that has happened in the past, what I was saying was true. Let's put somebody in there that could really make a difference and not to play politics in our city council. We need the vigilance, not the complacency of the city council. Our community is vigilant in all of the things that's happening in our community recently, the Hope of the Hills, the no-kill zone, the dog park. It's all because of the vigilance of our residents. Let's continue that and keep that in mind. Thank you.
The most important thing that I see that hopefully I'm elected and I can work on this issue with problem. It's existing infrastructure. It's a debt obligation of $38 million. How are we going to repay this? Do we raise taxes? No. Do we develop? Possibly. But maybe we can look outside the box here. Maybe we can look at maybe trying to come up with a repayment, maybe bonds, to maybe reduce this by 50% discount. That's what I think we need to do. So this way we can lower the density instead of building all these houses that obviously we have issues with. But we need to pay our obligation, which is about, it's maybe 38 million, maybe it's 19 million. We need to come up with a way of repaying this today, not wait another 25 years.
There's so many critical issues, and there's more than one that I could select, but I'll just pick one out that stands out the most and has more of my concern. We need to stand by our general plan and avoid increasing density in residential neighborhoods. I really believe, as a city, when we adopted a general plan, and we said, before we made any changes, we would go to the people, to the residents, to get their vote to change zoning. We're not doing that. We're changing zoning to meet housing mandates. But I think that's an excuse, and I think that's a loophole. So I'd like us to stick to our general plan, and I'm concerned if I get elected, that is one of my number one priorities. Thank you.
I agree with my fellow panelists. These are the debt, the density, the dynamics. These are all critical issues facing us. And I think this goes back to one very important gap in our system today, and that's that we don't have any term limits in our city. One of the core principles of why I'm running is I think we need term limits. I don't think someone should sit indefinitely on our city council or any
Thank you, Debbie. Well, I'll tell you, just to address what you just said, I am a short-termer. Even though I'm a good old boy, I've only been on 7.5 years, so I don't know if that qualifies as a good old boy, just because I volunteered a lot in town. But, you know, and I'm running again, and if I am re-elected, my guess is I'm going to do a self-imposed term limit. So this would be my last term. But as far as putting something in place, let me go back to the question at hand. And there's several things that we've talked about this evening. They all are important issues. Water is an important issue going forward. We know that, and that's going to be a critical issue. The L&L issue that we talked about earlier, as far as backfilling $300,000 or $400,000 we keep tapping into from the general fund. We're going to have several issues facing us. I don't know if there's one particular issue, but I will say, all in all, the reason you live in this city is because you love this city. And for all of these struggles that we might have, it's minuscule compared to what some of the others are facing right now. Our budget is balanced. To me, that's the number one thing. We have money coming in and we have a balanced budget.